The Gilded Age, Newport, Rhode Island mansions. This is Graciously Gloria. This is part of my travel destination series, and I spent a few days in Newport, Rhode Island. Want to focus on the mansions. If you've seen that HBO show, The Gilded Age, it probably piqued your interest in these lovely mansions. So I'm going to describe to you what I saw there and give you some different tips on going. So first off, they do have different options for a self-guided tour, which they have an audio tour, or you can book a guided tour. As far as tickets go, I will pop the link in for the Newport Preservation Society that runs the mansions, and there are several different ticket options. Breakers plus 2 other mansions. Also, if you're going to plan to go to more mansions than that, or you plan to go back again, then you might want to look into the membership option, which is unlimited visits for a whole year. So there's plenty of options for tickets, and again, on the website, it's real clear the different options there to get your tickets. You want to keep in mind that there may be some reduced hours depending on the time of year that you go. I went in the springtime, and at that time, not all the different mansions were open, but the breakers tends to be open, I believe, all year long because that's the most popular. But some of the other ones may be shut depending on the year, and they do have that calendar up also on that website. I think their website does such a great job explaining what is the Gilded Age and a little bit about the different mansions. I'm going to go ahead and put on my readers. I'm going to read this to you because I think it's real interesting. So the Gilded Age was approximately 1870 to 1910, was a period of unprecedented change in America. The expansion of industry and transportation and the lack of income tax gave rise to a new wealthy class of people with names like Vanderbilt, Morgan, Ford, Carnegie, Rockefeller. Massive fortunes were made very quickly and spent on lavish lifestyles. The Gilded Age pageantry was nowhere more on display than at the spectacular summer cottages of the Newport mansions, where the new millionaires sought to outshine each other at balls, banquets, carriage parades, concerts, sporting events, and other entertainment. Constructed at the height of the Gilded Age, the Breakers, the Marble House, the Elms, and Rosecliff reflect their owners' obsession with social status and the emulation of European aristocracy. Not everyone was impressed by the newly rich. They were shunned by the old money members of New York society, who considered them invaders. It was a battle that would last for years. Despite tremendous economic growth and the expansion of the workforce, the gap between the rich and the poor became ever wider during this period. The term Gilded Age, coined by Mark Twain, refers to the thin veneer of wealth that covered a less attractive reality. Yet this period marks the beginning of America's development into a prosperous, growing, and innovative modern nation. So I thought that was really a great description there to understand at what time period this was built and a little bit of background about the mansions and their owners. So the one that I probably enjoyed the most was the Breakers. And this one, there was a lot of filming done from the Gilded Age TV show that I enjoyed. And my favorite room was the music room where the ball was held. And I'll pop in some photos of the music room. Here's some description of the Breakers. The Breakers is the grandest of Newport summer cottages and a symbol of the Vanderbilt family's social financial preeminence in the Gilded Age. It was built in 1895. I also went to the Marble House, clad in lovely marble. I'll pop in some photos. A description of the Marble House. William Vanderbilt built Marble House as the 39th president for his wife, Alva. It was a social and architectural landmark that set the pace for Newport's subsequent transformation from a quiet summer colony of wooden houses to the legendary resort of the opulent Gilded Age mansions. It was built in 1892. Another location that I went to was Rosecliff. A little bit about Rosecliff. Rosecliff is best known today for its world-class exhibitions, which fill the second floor with vibrant, ever-changing displays of art, design, and culture, while its heart-shaped staircase and grand ballroom recall its Gilded Age past. The house is now lightly furnished to allow for frequent private events, letting the exhibitions and architecture take center stage. Its cinematic beauty also has made it a favorite film location for things like The Great Gatsby and True Lies. Oh, I did like that True Lies movie. Have you seen that one too? That one's fun. And this was built in 1902. Recommend all of those as great options. And keep in mind that some things will be closed depending on the time of year that you go. Here are some other ones to note. The Elms. The Elms was modeled after an 18th century French chateau, but featured the latest technology of the Gilded Age. Its house is an outstanding collection of paintings, statuary, and tapestries, and its landscape features formal gardens, terraces, pavilions, and fountains. Chateau sur Mer. It epitomizes high Victorian architecture, furniture, wallpaper, ceramics, and stenciling. It was the most palatial residence in Newport until the appearance of the Gilded Age Vanderbilt houses in the 1890s, and Chateau sur Mer was built in 1852. Let's talk a little bit about dining options. So there's a Chinese tea house, and that's on the grounds of the Marble House, and it's overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. And it was built in 1914 for Alva Vanderbilt, exotic ornament for the property, and a place to hold social events, including rallies for women's rights to vote. Today, it offers self-service food and refreshments as well as catered afternoon tea and dining through much of the year. You can make a reservation for that one through Resi. You can also picnic on the ground, so that might be a fun thing to do. I didn't see that when I was there, but probably super popular in the summer months, I imagine. There's also the newly restored carriage house at the Elms on the mansion grounds overlooking the historic Elms Gardens. It's the newest dining experience for guests and members. And again, you can make a reservation through Resi. And also the Breakers House of Breakers Cafe, which is a self-serve casual. So I hope that gave you some overview of the lovely mansions, and you get a chance to get out there and enjoy them. When I went, I flew into Boston and then drove to Newport, Rhode Island for my weekend getaway, and I'd highly recommend it. I'm going to pop again the link to the Preservation Society, which is so much great information. Again, the time that it's open, the ticket options, and please put in the comments if you've been in what your favorite mansion was. Thanks for joining today. This is Graciously Gloria. Please consider subscribing for more great travel tips and lifestyle trips for women in midlife. And happy travels to you.